Lent begins the day after this episode is going to be published on Wednesday, March 2nd of 2022. And so in this episode, I just want to lift up some of what we're doing here at St. Philip the Deacon related to this important season of the church here. Stay tuned. Hello, friends. Pastor Tim Westermeyer here, Senior Pastor of St. Philip the Deacon Lutheran in the western suburbs of Minneapolis. It's good to be with you as always. This episode is airing on Tuesday, March 1st, which is the day before Ash Wednesday, which in 2022 falls on Wednesday, March 2nd. Ash Wednesday is the beginning of the season of Lent, one of the most significant and important seasons of the church year. So what I want to do today is just lift up some of the things that we're doing here at St. Philip the Deacon during this season. As I mentioned, it begins on Ash Wednesday, so on Ash Wednesday we will have 3 services, all of them with the imposition of ashes. Those are at noon, 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. And as has become sort of typical now in this world post-COVID, we're offering options for people. We would love for you to be here with us in person if you're able to. But if you can't do that, you can join us via live stream at noon or at 5, as always at spdlc.org/livestream. In the 5 Wednesdays after that, so beginning on Wednesday, March 9th, we will once again be able to hold what is one of the highlights of the year here at St. Philip, and has been for many years, namely our Holden evening prayer. Again, those are Wednesdays at 7. Those will also be live streamed, but if you're able to, I would really encourage you to be in the sanctuary for those there. It's a beautiful liturgy, and 2019 was actually the last year we were able to do all 5 of those weeks of Holden. We started them in 2020, and of course that was right when the pandemic broke out, and so we had to sort of shut that down. So we're delighted to be able to offer those again, and very significantly, for the first time again since the first or second week of Lent in 2020, we're able to do soup suppers again. So those, I'm saying what is obvious, but those will of course only be available by coming here to church. But they should be a fun opportunity to gather. Those are at 5:30 on Wednesdays. It gives us a chance to gather immediately before that Holden evening prayer service. I also want to lift up some daily devotions that the pastors are doing throughout the entire season of Lent. We did this, we've done this now for Advent and Lent, Advent and Christmas for a couple years. We did it for Lent last year, so this is the second time we will have done this online. You can find those on all of the various social media platforms, on our YouTube platform and Facebook platforms primarily, as well as I believe they're available at spdlc.org/livestream as well. Every morning those will be posted. And those are going to be based on a little book by Pastor Adam Hamilton. Adam Hamilton is pastor of the United Methodist Church of the Resurrection in Kansas, which is a very important church in the United States. We actually used a book of his for our Advent and Christmas daily devotions. And this one, again, is called 24 Hours That Changed the World, 40 Days of Reflection. For what it's worth, by the way, our Wednesday evening worship messages, the sermons, will be based on another book of his, 24 Hours That Changed the World, and this one is more of a chapter book rather than daily devotions. So again, those are daily devotions. And then I think the final thing I wanted to mention in terms of activities going on here related to Lent is on Tuesdays, beginning on March 8th, at 1 in the afternoon. And again, this is something, if you want to join us for this, you'll have to come and be present in person. But Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, starting on March 8th, we will be doing a conversation with the preaching pastor, again, based on this book. You don't need to read it, certainly, but those conversations will sort of anticipate the message that you will hear on Wednesday night at Holden Evening Prayer. I guess I should say also, finally, that's a lot of information. If you happen to be here, you can pick up a bookmark with all of this sort of summarized, or if you would prefer, you can go to our website and find all of this laid out there, spdlc.org/Lent 2022. This is always a really, as I mentioned at the front end, an important and significant and meaningful part of the church year. Looking forward to it, I guess none of us look forward to Jesus' death, so I don't want it to sound like that. But because of the richness of the season, it is a time when we grow together with one another and with God, and I do look forward to journeying through this season with you. Thanks for your time today. As always, be well, stay in touch, and God bless.